welcome or welcome back to my channel. I have a very exciting video. I have another unboxing haul, and this might be my biggest unboxing haul yet. I have been collecting packages since the end of July, I think, so there might be some July, August, September, October, and now basically the whole month of November. So a lot of packages. I have some fairy loot. I don't have any Afterlight in this haul. None of the Afterlight books were really my kind of books, so I skipped all those. Next haul, there will be some Afterlight books in there, and I'm also trying to get on another book subscription, so hopefully, fingers crossed, by next book haul I will have that subscription as well. So I'm just gonna get started because this will probably be a very long video, so grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get to unboxing some books. So we're gonna start down here and then make our way to the big boxes that's on the bottom, and then the fairy loot packages. So this one, I don't know where it's from because the label isn't on it anymore, so we'll just see what it is. This must be from Amazon. So this is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. This is the perfect fall book. I read this one on my Kindle when it came out, and it's been around for I think a couple or a few years, but it just got republished by Berkeley. So it's the first time that I read it, and I really loved it. It's perfect fall book, small town, a lot of Gilmore Girl vibes in this book. So if you have not read this, it takes place in 1997, a small town in Vermont, and you get fall and there's some Christmas in here. It's like, I think all the Burr months take place in this book, but she moves to the small town in Vermont and takes over her mom's bed and breakfast until her sister's able to finish school and take over. But it is a very, very cute book. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It is so good, and I love the 1997 vibes, even though that's the year I was born. But I just love like the old, not old, but I just love the older vibes. So that's the first book in this haul. This one, I don't know where it's from either, so it'll be a surprise. Okay, this one's from Walmart. So this is Christmas Eve Love Story by Ginny Baird. It's an Advent book, and each chapter is like a book that you can open. So like there's day 1 and you read the chapter each day is kind of the idea, but it's very, very cute. I'll show an up close like flip through. But I've never seen anything like this, and you can only get it at Walmart. So I think they're sold out right now from the last time I checked. But very, very cute idea. So it says, on the 12th day of Christmas Eve, she found true love. She's a window designer in New York City. Looks like there's some like magical Santa that gives her a tip on how to start over. She ends up waking up the next morning and she gets to start her day over again. So even though it's kind of like that Groundhog's Day where she's living the same day over and over, so she has so many chances to get that day perfect. And then it says she has an infinite number of chances to get things right and every opportunity to find what's been missing from her life, friends, community, family, and a magical holiday romance that fits her just right. So yeah, I love this idea that it's an advent calendar, and I am really excited to start this on December 1st. Okay, this one is from Amazon. This is Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. This was her new release from July, I believe it is. And this is going to be a new series. This also takes place in the late 1990s, and I think it is a musician, and then she is a socialite or something. It says she's the iconic face of the generation. So I thought she was a model. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with what this book is about, but I just have all of her books, so I like to get them once they come out. And I love how the artwork is from an actual person, and she paints all of these and then it gets put onto the covers, which I think is amazing. Okay, another Amazon package. This is Road Trip with a Vampire. This is the third book in that series. I don't know what the series is called. So the first one was My Roommate is a Vampire, and then the second one was My Vampire Plus One, and then this is the third one. And this one says a vampire who can't remember his past and a witch with secrets of her own hit the road in this zany cross-country romantic comedy. So I will definitely be saving this for next spooky season. And then we have another Amazon. So we have Wild Card by Elsie Silver, the final book in the Rose Hill series, and it has the mountain art on the spine. I have not read this yet. It is, he's a fire pilot, and then I think Gwen used to date his son. So it sounds kind of crazy a little bit, but I love Elsie Silver. I will read anything that she writes. I just need to get to this at some point. I've just been really in the mood of holiday romances, so eventually I will get to this and sadly close out the Rose Hill series, but I'm really excited for her next series, Emerald Lake, I think is what it's called. And yeah, just really excited to add this to my Elsie Silver collection. This is also from Amazon. Okay, this is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. I absolutely love this cover. It is perfect for the fall time. I have not read this one either, but I can't really tell you what it's about. I have not read any books by Hannah, but I know she's such a well-loved author, and her books have a lot of like deeper emotional meanings and topics, and I love when Abby Jimenez does that, so I feel like I'll be a fan of her books. But I'm gonna save this for next fall as well. And then I also need to read Out on a Limb, which is, I feel like that's like her most popular book. So those are all the packages I have down here, and now we're going to move on to this one from Barnes & Noble. Okay, so it is Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. This is the final book in the Lakefront Billionaire series, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. I don't really know what is exclusive about it. I think it has like something extra content in it or something. I'm not really sure. But I love Lauren Asher's books too, and so far this series has been kind of hit and miss for me. I really liked Love Redesigned. Was that the first one? I think so. Whatever the first one was. And then I wasn't a huge fan of Love Unwritten. That one was kind of, I don't really know what the word is, but I was just not a huge fan. So I'm hoping that this one is another good one. I don't even know what it's about. I think there's something with like an election and fake marriage or fake dating or something. Don't know, but I love the setting of her book. I think this is like a small town, and there's obviously a lakefront. So yeah, her books are always a good option if you're looking for a good romance. This one's from Barnes & Noble too. Yes. Okay, so we have Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive. And then it has just like the solid color sprayed edges. I don't know. Oh, so it has a special cover. And then I think it continues on to the back. And then there's end paper art as well. And it's the same on the back. So I haven't read anything by Rebecca Ross either, but I've heard amazing things about her books. I thought this one was connected to Divine Rivals, but I'm not 100% sure. I will probably read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows first before I read this one, because I thought I saw something about them being connected, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay. This one is another Barnes & Noble. Okay, this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive of Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. I think it's a different color cover than the original. And then it's just a white hardcover. This one I already read. I read it pretty soon after it came out. And I always love Lynn Painter's books, especially her young adult books. They're just so good. I don't know what she puts in them, but I'm obsessed with them. This wasn't my favorite, but I still really recommend it for anyone, really. So this is childhood friends to enemies to lovers. So she ends up moving to this town, and her best friend is Alec, and they were best friends growing up, and then she ends up moving away, and something happens where they don't really speak anymore, and then she ends up moving back to this small town with her grandpa and ends up seeing Alec again, and they kind of have to figure out how the relationship is going to change since they're older now and they act completely different. This is dual POV, and then we get to see what happened in the past, like them growing up, and then also their relationship and how they have to kind of become friends again before they can be more. Okay. Next one is from Target. Okay, this is one that I've been excited to see in person. It is the Target exclusive edition of Good Spirits, and I love this holly color, or holly berry color, and then the sprayed edges, which I don't normally like sprayed edges on paperbacks, but this is very cute. I already read this and was obsessed with it. I haven't stopped thinking about this book, and it is such a good book for any time of the year, but especially the holiday season. I don't know, B.K. Borson is just, she's become one of my top authors. I just love her books, especially the ones that she's releasing now, like First Time Caller and this one are just, they're 5-star books. They're so good. This one, he is the ghost of Christmas Past, and he's sent to haunt her and doesn't understand why, because all of the past experiences that he takes her to, she's not the one that's like the Scrooge. So they kind of work together to figure out why he was sent to haunt her, and it's just so magical and just a beautiful story. So I definitely recommend it if you haven't read it, and I'm obsessed with this cover. I like this one more than the original, but yeah, just the most perfect book ever. Okay, another Barnes & Noble. Okay, so this is the paperback of Wisteria, the third book in the Belladonna series, and I love this purple color, and then it has the solid color sprayed edge. I read this book, I finished it, can't remember when I read this now, but I have adored this series. It is a really good young adult fantasy. If you are new to fantasy or you don't know where to start, this is a good one, especially the fall season. I feel like is like the perfect time to read these. They're a little bit dark, but not nearly as dark as you can get with fantasy. So yeah, this is the third one and kind of like the final in the series, but then she released the holiday novella, which should be in here somewhere because I did pre-order that. But yeah, I love that series. I cannot recommend it enough. It's one of my favorite young adult fantasies. Okay, this is another Barnes. This is Rose and Chains by Julie Soto. This is her debut fantasy. I have not read this yet, but I've heard pretty good things about it. And then there's the cover. I don't know what it's about really. I just pre-ordered it because I loved Julie Soto's romance. So I've read her Forget Me Not, and then what was the other one? Not Another Love Song. I really enjoyed those two. So I pre-ordered this one and I'm excited to read this. I'll probably read it once the next one in the series is close to coming out, because I don't like to start too many fantasies when I don't have like the next book at least soon. So I'll wait for that one. Now we're going to move on to the side and start over here. So this is from Barnes & Noble maybe? I don't know. So this is actually from Target. It's Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and that is the Target exclusive. It's just a different cover, I think. And then there's cover art in the inside. I've already read this and I enjoyed it. It wasn't as enjoyable to me as Bride, but I still loved like the continuance of the series. And seeing some of the characters from Bride in here and like seeing how the story is evolving, I really enjoyed. I really love this whole series by Ali Hazelwood. It's probably one of my favorites that she's written, and this is a really good paranormal romance. It's made me really fall in love with paranormal romances. This is from Barnes & Noble. This is The Gingerbread Bakery by Lori Gilmore. I think this is the 5th one in the series. Yeah, this is the 5th one. I absolutely just love these covers, and it has like the foil on there. And then there's the back. It's just the same as the front. So I've only read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and that was 2 years ago or a year ago. I eventually want to get through this series because they are very cute and just the perfect small town romances. And this one, I am obsessed with the cover. I love the foil and just, it's really cute. Another Barnes. This is Nothing Like the Movies, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of the paperback. I always get these because I like to have them all matching. And I love this orange color. It is so bright, and with the red, I love that. I still have not read this one. I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but this is the second book in the Better in the Movies series. So this is their story when they're in college. So maybe now that I have the paperback, maybe I'll read it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm just putting it off, but I'm really excited to read it because I love Better Than the Movies. Barnes & Noble again. This is the Barnes & Noble signed edition of Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, one of my favorite authors. And the front says Folklore 517 Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which that is a place that they visit in the story. I did read this and I did really enjoy it. It kept me on my toes and wanting to just know what happened next. Oh, there's her signature. Stephanie Garber is just so good about making her stories feel so magical and transporting you where you feel like you're in the story. Yeah, really enjoyed it. It's not, I can't compare it to Caraval or the Once Upon a Broken Heart series because they're so different, but I still really did love this. I think I gave it 4 stars, and I'm really excited for the rest of the series. I think there's going to be 3, and I just saw that she announced that there's going to be a Jax and Evangeline novella. That's probably the best news I've ever heard in my life, so I am just patiently waiting for more news about that. Barnes & Noble. This is Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is her new series that came out in September, was it? I already read this. Did I give it 3 or 4 stars? It might have been 4. So this is kind of in the same universe as her last series, but it's more like paranormal and spooky. She can see and communicate with spirits, and I love the paranormal touch to it, and it still has like that small town cozy vibe that Lila is really good about doing, and I'm really excited for the rest of the series. Another Barnes. Okay, this is Tourist Season by Brynn Weaver. The Seasons of Carnage trilogy. I, again, still have not read anything by her, but there's the sprayed edges. And then there is a map of Cape Carnage, and then the cover is that. This one, I think, has the same vibes of the Ruinous Love trilogy. Yeah, so it has still the dark romantic comedy and some suspense in there. Eventually I will get to her books. I just haven't. And I really love this purple and the green color. That's why I pre-ordered it. But I feel like her books would probably be perfect for like the spooky season because they are a little bit darker. I'm just hoping it's not too dark for me because I don't like a lot of gross things in books, so we will see. I'll start with the first series that she has first, and then I'll move to that one. I think she just announced the second book in that series. I can't think of what it's called right now, but I did see the cover. I think Barnes & Noble has another exclusive. I don't know. This one's also from Barnes. This is Accomplice to the Villain, the 3rd book in the... what is the series even called? Assistant to the Villain series? I don't know. I've just been collecting all of the exclusive editions of the series, even though I've only read Assistant to the Villain, and I need to reread it because I don't really remember what happened. I read it a couple of years ago. So yeah, I don't know what this one's about. It's just the 3rd story in that series. Okay. This one is from Barnes again. I think it's the last one from Barnes. So we have another Lynn Painter. This is her adult book that came out in July. It's Made for Each Other. I love this cover. That mint color is very pretty. So this one, I did read it when it came out. She's the house cleaner, and then he's a millionaire that owns the house that she's cleaning, and she ends up like just taking a nap in this penthouse because she knows the owner's not home, and then his parents show up and she has to pretend to be his girlfriend. So she agrees to be his fake girlfriend, and then in exchange he lets her stay in this penthouse because her apartment has there's something wrong with her house, something where she can't stay there. But yeah, they have kind of like this deal where they help each other out, and this one I did really enjoy. It's just not her young adult. I don't know, I'm just more of a fan of her young adult books, but this one was a really quick read, and her books are always just a fun, fast-paced book. Okay, so now I think I'm going to start with this side and then we'll go to this side. So this is from Amazon. So there's only one book in here, but it's just very heavy. This is Brimstone by Callie Hart, the first book, or the second book in the Quicksilver, whatever the series is called. This is the second one. So Quicksilver blew up last year, and I read it and really fell in love with it. And this is the second one. I have not started it yet. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a reread of Quicksilver first and then read this one. Yeah, just the way that Quicksilver left off, I'm really excited to see what happens next. And I definitely recommend that series if you loved Fourth Wing and any of like the popular fantasies. This is another really good one. So yeah, and I love the foiling. And then there is some art on the end pages. And then there's this, oh, that's so cute. It's like a fox and a butterfly. I don't know if this is the same characters or the same main characters. Yeah, so it looks like it's Ceres and Kingfisher again. Okay, I'm really excited about this. This just came out not that long ago. So I haven't seen anything about it, no spoilers or anything. I've been trying to steer clear of anything regarding this book, so I need to read it sooner rather than later. Okay, another Amazon package. Feels like there might just be one book in here. This is Grimm and Oro, I think is what it's called, by Alex Astor. So it's 2 books in 1 book, and I think it's like has a really cool cover, and then you can read it. Okay, so it's Grimm and Oro by Alex Astor. So you can read it from this side, and then once you get halfway, the pages flip, I think is how it works. So then it says in the middle the end, and then you flip it this way and then continue it till the end. And then that's Oro's story. I think this is a novel based off of Lightlark. I haven't read anything by Alex Astor. I just ordered this because I thought this was really, really cool. The sprayed edges are really cool too. So yeah, then it's Oro, or no, that's Grimm, and then Oro. This is another one from Amazon. So we have a couple in here. So I have It's Different This Time by Joss Richard. This is her debut novel, and I read this when it came out. So it's second chance romance. 2 roommates move back into their brownstone, and they have to kind of deal with what happened in the past and just all the unresolved things that happened. This is a really good book, and I'm excited to read everything else that she writes. I'm not usually a huge fan of second chance, but this one was a really good one, and I loved the main male character. He was just so sweet, and he's a chef. She is an actress, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. And then we have Holly by Adeline Grace. This is her holiday novella that's in the Belladonna universe, or Belladonna series, and I love this cover. So it's kind of like Spectacular, where it has illustrations in it. So here's the cover, and then the back, and then it has some illustrations on the end papers, and then throughout the story as well. So it has like different pictures in the chapters, and then the end is this picture. So it's just all the characters from the Belladonna series, and then it takes place during the holiday time. So reminds me of Spectacular, but she did a really good job with this one. I really enjoyed it, and I felt like it was a good addition to the series. Okay, now we're gonna open this big one from Amazon. So the first one is the special edition of People We Meet on Vacation. I have Beach Read, so I've just been kind of collecting these ones. And then there's the back, and then it has the sprayed edges. And then if I take the cover off, it has a quote from the book. And then it has these really pretty end papers on both sides. I love Emily Henry, and this book I actually reread this past summer and loved it more than when I read it the first time. This is probably my top 3 of Emily Henry's books. I don't know, I can't really rank them, but Book Lovers and Beach Read are my top 2, and this one's probably 3rd. I don't know. But I'm really excited for the movie to come out in January on Netflix, and I just love these special editions. Okay, and then the next one is the special edition of Quicksilver, and this is the really pretty gold foil or silver foiling, and then that one, the cover has gold, or I keep calling it gold. It has silver snowflake, and then Ceres, I don't know if I say her name right, but, and then there's Kingfisher, and it's so pretty. I love the foiling. Okay, now we're on to this side. So this one I think is from Blackwell's. So if you haven't heard of Blackwell's, it's a UK based company, and they ship to the US for free. So this is from there, and you get it fairly quick too, so it doesn't take too long for like UK shipping or anything. So this is a box set, and they also package like in bubble wrap and everything, so they definitely care about how their books get to you. So this is a new box set for the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. And then there's all the books. I definitely didn't need these because I have the entire indie covers of this book, or of the series, but I just couldn't pass up. Like, look how stunning these are. And then there's the back. And then here is a photo finish. And then the back. And then the front runner, which is one of my favorites of the series. And then the last one, I love the pink. So these are just so pretty next to each other. I love them. Now I have to figure out how to display these. Now we're on to our fairy loot. So I don't know what order these are in. I don't know what ones I've gotten and which ones I've skipped. I don't remember. So we'll just see. So this one is Shackled Obsession. This was the June Romantasy box. And I already have this book, so maybe I won't keep the other version. I don't know. I don't like to have like too many of the same books if it's not like a favorite of mine. But this is Rose and Chains by Julie Soto. And then there's the sprayed edges. This one's signed as well. And then here's the other side of the cover. I like the other side more. And then here is the hardcover. And then there's the end papers with her signature. And then the other side. So I definitely really like this edition. I haven't seen this one posted, even though it's from June. I don't know how I haven't seen this on like Instagram or anything. So that's June's Romantasy. And then the next one, this is June's Young Adult box. This is Heir of Storms by Lauren Hamilton Murray. This one's really pretty. I love all those light colors in there. And then we'll open it up. Here's the other side. And then this hardcover is gorgeous. And then here's the end paper. I love a good young adult romance or romantasy, so I'm hoping that this one is good too. I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know if it's a series or how many will be in the series. I'm not sure. I know that it is a well-loved book and people are really excited for it. Okay. This one is Fateful Bonds, so it is the July Romantasy box. So this is Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. I saw a lot of excitement for this one as well, but I don't know what it's about or anything. So, and then here is the other side. And then the cover. And then the inside. I know this takes place in like a magical academy or something. And it's, if you like Zodiac Academy, it's similar to that. I don't know. I haven't read Zodiac Academy either, so I don't know. I just know that it was really hyped up when it was announced and people were really excited that Fairy Loot was doing a special edition. I love these sprayed edges. Those are really cool. So there's that one. We have a few left. This one is August, young adult. It is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. This one's really pretty too. And this one, I don't know what it's about either. I guess I didn't say what any of these books were about. So, okay, I'm going to go through, you can skip this part if you'd like, but I'm going to go through and say what each one is about. So the first one was Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. It says, after a brutal war, a defeated princess is taken prisoner by those who seek to control her. Stripped of power and far from home, she must learn to survive in a world built to break her. But even in the darkest places, sparks of hope and rebellion begin to rise. And then the next one was Heir of Storms. This one says, Blaze was born with a rare power to summon storms. Once hidden for nearly tearing the Empire apart, she is now forced into a brutal competition for the throne. With forbidden magic, fierce rivals, and dangerous secrets, this is a powerful story about fighting for your place in the world. And then Arcana Academy. Faced with a prison sentence, a cunning thief must infiltrate a magical elite academy, conceal her identity, and outwit a prince she's vowed to despise. And then this last one, Immortal Consequences. At a hidden academy on the edge of the afterlife, 6 students enter a high-stakes competition. With deadly ambition, tangled relationships, and secret motives at play, the cost of winning may be worse than losing. So then here's this cover. Then there's the sprayed edges. I love this dark purple. And then here's the end papers. Okay. So, okay, now we have 3 left from Fairy Loot. And I didn't mention earlier, but I did cancel both of my Fairy Loot subscriptions. Just because a lot of the books I was skipping, so I wasn't very interested in their picks anymore, and I didn't want to waste all this. Well, I did use all my skips, but I couldn't skip anymore, and I didn't want to pay the $30 whatever it is dollars for a book that I probably wasn't going to pick up and read. So I made the decision to canceled both of those, and I kept my Afterlight book subscription, and then I'm trying to get Owl Crate, which is another romance. I think it's like a quarterly subscription, so every 3 months. I think it's every 3 months you get a romance book. And a lot of their picks were right up my alley. It was First Time Caller, and then Well Actually, which is another romance book that has been on my TBR. So I decided to do that. Okay, so this is August Romantasy. This is Warrior, Princess, Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer. It is about a king and a princess enter a fragile political alliance, each hiding secrets that could tear it apart. An assassin is sent to kill them, but when one of his targets is the woman he loves, his mission becomes a choice between duty and desire. This one, I did see a lot of people were excited for it. I haven't read anything by this author, but I have seen her name before, so I know she's a pretty well-loved and well-known author. And then there's the alternate cover, and then there's that. And this one is also signed as well. I don't tend to lean towards love triangles, but that's kind of what I'm getting from the cover. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, we have 2 left. This one is September's Young Adult Box. It's Never Ever After by Sue Lin Tan. It's inspired by Cinderella and Chinese folklore. This fantasy follows a clever thief who enters a treacherous royal court to reclaim a stolen enchanted ring, only to find herself caught in a deadly power struggle that could reshape the kingdom. I love this cover. That is gorgeous. This is so pretty. This is probably one of my favorites from them. This is gorgeous. Even though I don't know what it's about, but so pretty. I've definitely heard of this author, and I know that she has written a lot of popular fantasy books, so I'm excited. I'll probably actually read that one. Okay, this is our final book for this haul. This one. Oh, I'm really excited for this one. This is Molded by Iron. It is September's Romantasy box, and it's Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. This book also blew up along with Quicksilver, and I saw so many people reading it. I think it's on Kindle Unlimited, or it used to be. And I heard the cliffhanger at the end was crazy, like craziest cliffhanger ever, and like plot twist. So it is about a young guard's encounter with an enemy soldier shatters a fragile peace. As rebellion brews and loyalties are tested, she must choose between her duty and a connection that defies everything she's ever known. I'm really excited to see the special edition. I'm not a huge fan of this cover. I don't like people on covers, really. Here is the other cover. It looks very similar to like the normal cover, but this is really pretty. Okay, and that is the final book for this haul. So now I'm going to count and see how many books we had in here. 37 books. I counted the Gold Rush Ranch set as 4 books because there's 4 books in there. So 37 books in this haul. It is one of my biggest ones, and a lot of exciting books in this haul. I tend to do these unboxings every 3-ish months, so stay tuned. That would be December, January, around February we will do another unboxing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!